Assalamualaikum. Hi everyone. Back again with me, Eryna Rista Aulia. So, in this video, I will present my classroom action research proposal from chapter 1 to chapter 3. Keep watching and I hope you enjoy it. Well, this is the title of my classroom action research proposal. The effectiveness of the Jigsaw cooperative learning model to increase students' motivation and learning outcomes in online learning. So, in this research, I want to test the effectiveness of the Jigsaw cooperative learning model to fix problems that appear frequently in online English teaching and learning. In this case, the independent variable is a Jigsaw cooperative learning model, while the dependent variable is students' motivation and learning outcomes. Okay, we will go to chapter 1, Introduction, which contains a description of the reasons for conducting a research and discuss several points, including background of the study, research questions, objective of the study, hypothesis, significance of the study, and definition of key terms. Alright, this is the background of the study in this research. Among them, there are three things behind the occurrence of this classroom action research. Initially, I saw some problems that occurred in learning English while online. Some of them are a decrease in the level of seriousness of students, the low quality of students' learning, as well as low motivation and student learning outcomes. Therefore, I want to try to apply cooperative learning as an effort to create active, interactive, and effective learning. This learning model not only divides students into several groups, but there are basic elements that distinguish it, where students work together with other students in a mutual cooperation atmosphere, so that they have many opportunities to interact with each other, process information, take turns explaining the subject matter, and improve their communication skills. It's expected to provide much more optimal learning outcomes and also produce meaningful learning. In this research proposal, there are two research questions using two types of interrogative sentences, or WH questions, namely how and why. First, how to increase students' motivation and learning outcomes through Jigsaw cooperative learning model. Second, why Jigsaw cooperative learning model can increase students' motivation and learning outcomes in online learning. Next is the objective of the study. The purpose of this research is first, to increase students' motivation and learning outcomes during online learning, and second, to optimize online learning with the Jigsaw cooperative learning model. The hypothesis is that if in online learning the teacher used the Jigsaw cooperative learning model in accordance with the proficiency and students' conditions, it will increase students' motivation and learning outcomes. The benefits of this research for students is that it can increase students' motivation and student understanding. Then the benefit for teacher is that it can create an effective and efficient teaching and learning situation, or a conducive and meaningful learning atmosphere. Meanwhile, for researchers, the benefits is that I can find an effective learning model to increase students' motivation and learning outcomes in online learning. This section is a definition of key terms, which only states or writes the definition of some keywords. Here, there are 4 keywords including Jigsaw cooperative learning model, students' motivation, learning outcomes, and online learning. Next, we will enter chapter 2, or review of related literature. This is a comprehensive summary of previous research on a topic by conducting a literature review or surveying several scientific articles, books, and other relevant sources to the fields of research being carried out. This section is to examine or critically review knowledge, ideas, or findings related to the following terms: learning outcomes, students' motivation, cooperative learning models, and jigsaw cooperative learning models. Next is the previous study. Here, there are two literature reviews or previous research that have the same theme, which the researcher used to compare and find which research areas have not been studied by previous researchers. So, based on that, the two previous researchers used the same jigsaw cooperative learning model, but they focus on different subjects, namely learning biology and sociology. As well as the focus of their research, they were more focused on comparing cooperative learning models with conventional learning and lecture methods. Therefore, here, I have determined my research area, namely by testing the effectiveness of the jigsaw cooperative learning model in online English learning through the Zoom Cloud Meeting application by utilizing the breakout room feature to improve or increase students' motivation and learning outcomes. So, this is the theoretical framework related to student motivation and learning outcomes in online learning. It can be seen in the initial condition before the implementation of the jigsaw cooperative learning model. Online learning is still dominated by teacher-centered learning models. This will have an impact on the low motivation and student learning outcomes. In an effort to overcome these problems, this research will apply the jigsaw cooperative learning model. It has advantages including being able to grow creativity, a sense of responsibility, the courage to express opinions, and so on. After the teacher applies jigsaw cooperative learning model, it's hoped that students will be more active and learning activities will be more interactive. Until the final condition, it's expected that students' motivation and learning outcomes will increase significantly. Okay, we come to the last part, which is Chapter 3 or Research Methodology. The first part in Chapter 3 is Research Design. So, the design of this research is Classroom Action Research or CAR design, which aims to improve problems that arise in online learning activities by applying cooperative learning models. The steps that will be carried out starting from planning to carrying out the research. Alright, this research will be conducted at SMA Muhammadiyah 3 Gresik. The reason for choosing the location of this research is because at SMA Muhammadiyah 3 Gresik, there has never been a classroom action research using the jigsaw cooperative learning model. Then, there is a problem of decreasing motivation and learning outcomes of 11th grade students at SMA Muhammadiyah 3 Gresik during online learning. Furthermore, this research will be carried out in the second or even semester of the 2020 or 2021 academic year. The subjects of this study were 11th grade students of SMA Muhammadiyah 3 Gresik. Then the data sources in the study were obtained from informants or English teachers, place, activity, and documentation. Data collection techniques that will be used in the study include observation or in the form of interviews and questionnaires, tests, and documentation to determine student learning outcomes. Furthermore, this study used the validity of the data carried out by source triangulation techniques. This is a test of the validity of the data by checking the data that has been obtained through several sources, including observing the jigsaw type cooperative learning process, syllabus and lesson plans, then test questions related to the material that has been delivered using the jigsaw cooperative learning model. And the last one is documentation during online learning activities via Zoom from pre-cycle to end of cycle. In addition, this study also used content validity to strengthen the data. This analysis technique refers to the analysis model, which consists of three components, namely data reduction, data presentation, and drawing conclusion. In the research performance indicators, it's written that the research can be stopped if every aspect of the indicators measured has reached the targets found. However, if the measured variable has not met the achievement target, then the next cycle will achieve the set target. Then, the indicator of the success of this research is if there is an increase in motivation and learning outcomes of 11th grade students of SMA Muhammadiyah Trikersik during the English learning process in each cycle. This classroom action research procedure consists of two cycles. Each cycle includes planning, implementing actions, observing, and reflecting. Implementation is done by holding learning, which in one cycle there are three face-to-face meetings that are adjusted to the lesson plan. Each cycle is carried out according to the changes achieved as planned. I think enough from me. Thank you for your attention and see you.